everybody, it is Dr. Tanda Cook. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 25th, and I am going to jump right into information because we have a ton to go through tonight, and it's my goal to keep this to 30 minutes, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So, so I am Dr. Tanda Cook. I am going to go through my intention for tonight because I feel like it is super important to set an intention before we dive into lots of information. And I apologize, maybe it's going to feel like you're drinking out of a bit of a fire hose tonight. So, like I said, I'm going to keep it best to 30 minutes. So my intention for tonight is to teach you guys how to think about the how around using the products with Arbonne and how your body works. Also to equip you with the knowledge and the confidence to step out into the field and transform people's lives and health with these extraordinary products. And then a fun fact because, well, fun is my middle name and it's not really, but it should be. Many of you know this, but I want to go over what a naturopathic doctor is. So we are trained as general care practitioners. We are experts in nutrition, lifestyle coaching, herbal medicine, and homeopathy. And we really want to get to the origin of the disease and not just focusing on what is happening in the body, but why it's happening in the body. It's like migraines don't just happen because the body feels like it. It's like there's a reason that it's happening. And I love asking the question why. It also utilizes the laws of nature to help guide, diagnose, and treat people. The other thing, the two things that got me into naturopathic medicine was this one tenet as doctor as teacher. Doctor means teacher, and I take that very seriously. Many of you know that. I am sort of mildly addicted to teaching people how their body works, how to add health, and how life can be so super awesome. So I take that very seriously, and then following nature's laws is another tenet of naturopathic medicine that just fascinated me. I was like, what does that mean? And it sounds so awesome. So following nature's laws, we'll go over what that is. So yes, I am a naturopath. A bit about me. I am a naturopathic doctor. I am a food expert. I am a healthy living and nutritional coach. And I'm the co-author of Food That Grows, which is a cookbook, but it's a bit more than a cookbook. It's really teaching you, again, the how around what foods are working for your body and what foods might not be working for your body. I'm an international speaker. I am a health and lifestyle blogger. My blog is drtandacook.com, and as well as my website. And I'm an independent consultant with Arbonne International, and I have been for 7 years. And I also am a sustainable farmer. So my husband and I have 5 acres right outside Bozeman, Montana, and we are committed to raising as much as our own food as possible. We raise chickens and ducks and turkeys, and we have horses, and we have a huge garden. And the reason why is that I want to know what it takes to raise our own food, how to add health from ground zero, from step 1, so that I can then teach you guys how, right? And I'm not saying that you need to go get 5 acres outside of Bozeman, Montana and raise your own chickens. What I'm saying is we are committed to that such that I can teach you all aspects of it. So my promise to you tonight is a deeper understanding of Arbonne's nutrition line, the RE9 line, as it supports the body from the inside out and the outside in. Quickly, my Arbonne background. Arbonne found me by way of EMVP Lori Muirhead in 2010, and I had never heard of network marketing. I have never heard of Arbonne. I was like, sign me up when I found the people and the extraordinary community of humans that this company attracts, as well as the business model, as well as the products. And to be perfectly honest, for me, the products actually came third, and yet now we're sort of not the front runners, because the humans in the company are the front runners. But it's really become so fascinating and so amazing and so honoring to watch the company really stand behind their 37-year commitment of pure, safe, and beneficial. So that's just been really fun. And then in 2011, so I joined in 2010. In 2011, they launched their 30 Days to Healthy Living. And I was really skeptical because I was a naturopathic physician. And whenever I hear the word detox or cleanse, red flags go up for me, right? I'm like, because it can be really extreme, really unsafe, really not supportive of the body. So I was sitting in the nosebleed section in the MGM in Vegas, and when they launched this at their global convention in 2011, and I'm just like, ooh, shoot, what did I do? And yet I have been continually in awe of the commitment to really, to having these products set your body up to win. And we're going to go over why and how. But first, I want to talk about what is health and what is disease. Just so we're all on the same page, right? So the disease model is what most Western medicine is based on. It assumes that the external stress causes a disease, like the bacteria caused the bacterial infection in the human. It also assumes symptoms are in different parts of the body and that are unrelated, right? So how often do you go to the pulmonologist, the cardiologist, the nephrologist, the ologist, right? So we've like compartmentalized the body and yet forgotten that it's this whole beautifully organized synergistic thing. Also in Western medicine, the treatment is allopathic, which means you do the opposite, which means, you know, if you get a bacterial infection, I get so excited, I get ahead of myself. I will slow down talking. When you get a bacterial infection, what do you take? You take an antibiotic. When you've had a viral infection, what do you take? You take an antiviral. So a lot of the treatment is to do the opposite. They're very, very good at saving lives, right? So how do you define disease? Disease for most people is pretty easy to define, right? It's an ailment. It's something, it's a discomfort, it's a dysfunction or distress of the body or the mind. That's pretty straightforward. A pathology is the physical change that can be seen with a naked eye on a lab test, in a medical image, or under a microscope. Again, disease, pretty easy to define for people. A real quick check-in, what is normal? What are we all walking around as Americans considering normal? 70% of Americans are overweight or obese. 1 in 2 men or 1 in 3 women will get cancer. An average of 4 meals a week are eaten at home, and we eat an average of 170 pounds of sugar per person per year. Now, I have been doing these talks for a very long time, and it used to be 135 pounds, so that number's going up, right? And we're getting healthier, right? Just kidding. So, and then 80% of money spent on healthcare is spent in the last year of life, and that is not on quality of life, that is on keeping somebody alive. And then medical bills are the number one reason for bankruptcy in the United States, right? So that's where we're at. Now, what is health? And I was asked this question in, I think it was second year of medical school, and there was a room full of 120 medical students, and we were asked this question, and we were like, you know what? Never actually really thought what that word means. And our professor asked us this question, and we were 120 of us, and there were crickets. Like, not a lot of us could answer it. And what my professor, he brought in the analogy of this, which many of you have heard me say or ask, is how do you light a dark room? So this is how I view health and disease. It's not a trick question. You walk into a room and it's pitch black. What do? You turn on a light, you light a candle, you open a window, you use your cell phone, whatever. You add light. Notice there was no anti-darkness machine that you stuck to the side of the room and then you suck all the darkness out and then ta-da, there's light. No, that's not how it worked. You had to add something and you had to do something such that darkness could not exist. Now, I view health and disease the exact same way. You guys, I really want you to wrap your brain around what this means. When there is dis-ease, that means there's not enough what? Health, right? The body innately wants to be healthy, okay? Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. And that's what the WHO defined it, the World Health Organization, in 1994. It's a state of homeostasis, which is a geeky 8th grade science word and kind of a mouthful. So how I define health is balance and freedom, because with balance, which is what the body is craving, you add things, you take things, you do things that are building your body, and your body holds on to what it needs to make you go and then lets go of everything that it doesn't need, such that you are then free to do what it is that you were put on this planet to do. Because yes, I love talking about health. I love talking about food. I could do this clearly until the cows come home, right? I really enjoy it. And yet, what I enjoy even more is finding out what you love and why you were put on this planet without migraines, without back pain, without diabetes, without infertility, all of these things that you're distracted by on a daily basis. What are you without that? That's what I want to know. And that's what the Arbonne products are helping you get to. So again, quickly, this is a paradigm shift that I really want to create in my lifetime. And it's that we have that health and disease are neighbors, like they're fence buddies. Like health is like, hey, disease, can I borrow the sugar? And disease is like, sure, gives them sugar. Right? That's not even an accident that I said that, but clearly disease would give sugar out. You picking up what I'm putting down? Just saying. So they're not. They are not fence buddies. They are not next door neighbors. They do not live next to each other. They have nothing to do with each other, right? Try on that they are on opposite sides of the United States. That's how far apart health and disease are. Notice how often we say, oh, he was the picture of health and yet he ran a marathon and dropped dead of a heart attack. Or she was the picture of health and she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Like I hate to break it to you, but that's not health. Health and fitness look very different. Just because somebody can go run a mile doesn't mean that they're healthy, okay? So I really want you guys to get clear that say health is California and disease is, I'm sorry, anybody from Jersey who's listening to this, I'm going to pick on New Jersey. Health is Jersey, and every state in between is some things that you're doing on a daily basis, things that you're taking on a daily basis, things that you're eating on a daily basis, where you live, who you're married to, what you're drinking. All of those things give your body information to either send you more towards California or more towards Jersey, okay? And about once you hit east of the Mississippi, I'm gonna say you're right around signs and symptoms, okay? Your body telling you that something's not working. That is when there's too much darkness and not enough light. I hope you guys this is resonating. So then how do you add health? How do you add light to your life? Now, this is following nature's laws. Remember a couple minutes back, I said one of the things that drew me to naturopathic medicine was the fact that it talks about nature's laws, which I was like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds super awesome. I'm going to tell you what that is. What it is eating food and focusing on whole foods, which is exactly what the 30 Days to Healthy Living does. And my definition of whole foods is that you can pick it out of the earth, you can pick it off a tree, you can shoot it, or you can catch it. That is a whole foods. And I do understand that you can shoot a Twinkie, and I'd rather you be using it as target practice than actually consuming it, but you're getting the point. Like things that came from the earth, that's whole foods. And that's what Arbonne's 30 Days to Fit, 30 Days to Healthy Living is teaching you guys. So that's number one. Moving your body is essential, is another piece of following nature's laws. We are full of pulleys and levers and hinges and things. We are made to move. You don't see cows. Cows were designed to eat. I mean, they have 4 stomachs, right? They are designed to eat. They spend a lot of time doing that, like hours and hours and hours, like 8 to 10 hours a day. We do not. We spend very little time eating and a lot of time moving and thinking, in theory. Drinking water is super important. Ideally, half your body weight in ounces of water a day. And what counts as water? Water. Good job. Breathing 100 conscious deep breaths at least a day. Sleeping for at least 7 to 9 hours in total darkness. Eliminating for, ideally 1 to 3 bowel movements a day, as well as urination, and then also emotionally, right? And then my favorite subject outside of food, the last nature's law that I will teach you is play. Which again is what I just said. Like, yes, I love talking about health. I love talking about the way the body works, but I'm really excited about talking about what you love to do. So let's dive into how. Okay, and why? So why? Because why do all of those things? Why follow nature's laws? And why do I do what I do? Because what it does, what I teach people to do, and what Arbonne is doing for you without you really knowing, is helping you build the internal resistance such that external stress doesn't seem such a big deal to the body or the mind. I'm going to say this again, you guys. So what I do, and I love doing and teaching people, and what Arbonne is doing, without you really even noticing, is building your internal. How many of us focus on the external stressor, that bacteria, that virus, that sunlight, that sunscreen, that toxin, whatever it is? Yes, those all have influences on our body, but what are we doing to build the internal such that the external doesn't seem like such a big deal when it happens? Because life is going to happen at us. We can't live in a bubble, although some of you I know wish you could. So that is what I love doing, and that's what Arbonne is doing for you. It supports the organs of elimination, which are the kidneys through urine, the GI and liver through feces, the lungs through breath, and the skin through sweat. Because imagine your body as a bathtub. I was taught this analogy in medical school, and then Arbonne and the 30 Days to Healthy Living brought in the same analogy. Because as a bathtub, is a drain. Imagine adding 4 drains, and they're called the kidneys, the skin, the liver, and the GI. Those are the drains of the body, the drains of your bathtub. And you add things. You turn on the faucet and it's water and it's air and it's food and it's thoughts and it's stuff you're putting on your skin. All of that the body has to sort through and then let go of through the drains, all the stuff that's not going to build you to make you your best self. Well, that's balance, right? We talked about that just a few minutes ago. That's balance, such that you are then free to feel awesome in your life and go do what you're meant to do. But let's make a sweeping generalization and say that not all humans, most people are not drinking half their body weight in ounces of water a day. They're not sweating on a daily basis to support their skin. They're not taking those 100 conscious deep breaths to support their lungs. And they are not having 1 to 3 bowel movements a day, plus focusing on whole foods, plus taking probiotics to support their GI. Can we just assume that that's happening? Most likely, such that then the drains get clogged with toxicity. Because again, we can't stop necessarily the toxins from the outside world. What we can do is support the drains. So when the drains get clogged, we keep doing what we're doing, we keep adding what we're adding, and we're going to get symptoms. That's the body knocking on the door, going, excuse me, my head hurts. And then we take a Tylenol or an Advil or an Excedrin PM, and the headache goes away, but we've just put a Band-Aid over the engine light. We haven't actually addressed what's going on. And again, we keep doing what we're doing. That's just the body warning you. We keep getting what we're getting, and then eventually toxicity will build up in the body and you will develop some sort of dis-ease, okay? Because bottom line is we're exposed to toxicity internally with cellular metabolism, and with lack of a better way of explaining it, because I'm all about visuals, imagine this. Each one of your cells is essentially pooping and peeing into your system, such that then our lymphatic system or circulatory system, and there's 4 organs of elimination, will then let it go, right? So we have cellular metabolism for internal toxicity. Lack of sleep will actually create a lot of toxicity in your life. Poor food choices based on how your digestion is set up is also a phase of or a form of internal toxicity. And then our thoughts, you better believe that our thoughts absolutely add health or do not add health to our life. So those are how we're exposed to toxins internally. Externally, we're exposed to air and sun and food and water and skin, stuff that we're putting on our skin. That's how we're exposed to toxins. Triggering oxidative stress. Now, you guys have heard of this, right? Now, what is oxidative stress? What are free radicals? What are antioxidants? You know, a lot of this stuff we kind of throw around like it's this trendy thing, like, yeah, omega-3. What is that? Yeah, anti-inflammatory. What does that really mean? Oxidative stress, free radicals, and antioxidants. I'm going to give you guys kind of my little visual around this. So free radicals are like robbers of energy, right? They attack and snatch energy from other cells to satisfy themselves. So the visual that I have is it's like the bully on the playground. So little Jimmy John is running around the playground and he is like angry and he's punching holes in walls and he's punching holes in the playground equipment and he's punching at kids and he's just like and punching all these things. Well, he's causing destruction, right? And then an antioxidant, so that's Jimmy John's the free radical. He's just like out of control, punching holes in things. And little Susie Q is the antioxidant, and she comes over to Jimmy John and she holds his hand. She grabs him by the hand and she's like, Jimmy John, you don't have to be so violent. Like, can we just be friends? And he's like, oh, I was waiting for you to do that, and calms him down. So he doesn't run around punching holes in things, right? This is what free radicals and antioxidants do in your body. So when we are exposed to toxicity, we are exposed to free radicals. And what those free radicals do is they run around in your body, punching holes in things, making things look destructive, aka wrinkles in your face, and leaky gut in your GI, and heart disease, blah, 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 blah. Like, the list can go on, okay? So when Susie Q comes over and holds Jimmy's hand, then it calms everything down and the destruction stops. So that is what oxidative stress is that exposure to toxicity without the adequate amount of antioxidants, without that adequate amount of Susie Q's floating around your body, holding Jimmy John's hand, going, please stop punching holes in things because you're being destructive and you're causing dis-ease, okay? So for sources of free radicals are sun. Now, I'm a huge fan of the sun. We evolved under the sun, and yet it's too much sun exposure, aka burning, don't burn, that can cause oxidative stress and free radical damage. Smoking, cigarette smoke, whether it's you're actually smoking or you're around secondhand smoke, that is also oxidative stress and free radical damage. Chemicals and toxins in beauty products, we know this. Pollution that we're exposed to. Processed sugar is a huge source of free radical damage. Sugar and stress. And I know that word alone is like triggering for many of us. So that's how we're exposed to free radicals and oxidative stress. It's kind of like life. Like life happens at us. So what are we doing about it? Again, to build the internal stress such that when the external thing happens, our body's like, meh, we got this. No big deal, right? So then we have sources of the antioxidants. So again, think of these guys as the little Suzy Q's holding the hand, calming it down, and preventing damage. What are the sources of antioxidants? Whole foods, specifically the 30 Days to Healthy Living and the foods that they're focusing on and how they're focusing on them. Bright foods, brightly colored foods, fruits and vegetables. Gumballs don't count. Herbs and spices, which is specifically in the Rescue and Renew line, which we're not talking about tonight, has a lot of that in there. Play is a source of antioxidants. Laughter, love, fresh air, and grounding, okay? And so if we keep doing what we're getting, we're going to keep getting, most of us, again, assuming that our drains are getting clogged, we are going to see signs of toxicity, anxiety, depression, headaches, food allergies, insomnia, PMS, chronic pain, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is, what are we doing about it? And this is where I want to talk to you about how Arbonne has got you covered. So remember the organs of elimination that we just went over, how these products help support your liver, your organs of elimination is that the RE9 line, their anti-aging skincare line, helps your skin and your liver, and we're going to go over why. And then the 30 Days to Healthy Living helps support your GI, your liver, your kidneys, and your skin. Okay, so the products that Arbonne has created is, again, without you really knowing, is helping build you from the inside out and the outside in. So these two lines, the RE9 line and the 30 Days to Healthy Living, are setting your body up to win for whole body health, right? They're helping the body detoxify by supporting the organs of elimination. They're helping the body deal with oxidative stress and damage, which we just went over. They're also helping the body absorb nutrients, which we'll talk about, and they help bring in balance and freedom, which is health, right? So then why the RE9 line matters, because you know that your skin absorbs. You also know that your skin is exposed to life. And we can set our skin up to win because it matters what we're putting on it and what we're putting in it by eating food, right? Guys, I want you to think about your skin as like almost the equivalent of putting stuff in your mouth. Like everything, and we'll go over this, but I really want to stress this. Everything that we're putting on our skin, our body has to detox and deal with. Like it goes straight into the circulatory system, straight into the lymphatic system, and straight to your liver. And the liver's one job in the body. Well, lots of jobs. One of the jobs of the liver in the body is like the conversation that I hear the liver saying is like, do I need you? Do I not need you? Are you toxic? Are you not? And so everything that the body is exposed to, the liver gets filtered through, and that's the question that it's asked. It's like, hello, oxidative stress. Are you going to help us or are you going to not? And the liver's like, conjugate that and let's dump it in the let's dump it in the feces and let's get it out. So taking care of your skin like you would your heart and your lungs. I think we really forget that our skin is an organ. It needs support, it needs nutrients, it needs detoxification, and it needs love. Do you really want your heart to look like a wrinkly old face, right? Do you really want your lungs looking like a wrinkly old arm? And not that wrinkles are necessarily bad, they're just so sort of signs of oxidative stress. So it's like, if we look at a face that is super oxidatively stressed, would you want your heart to look like that? The answer is probably no. Guys, think about your skin like your heart and your lungs and your brain and your liver. I mean, the list can go on. So what the RE9 line does is it improves the appearance of skin firmness, improves the elasticity and tone. It minimizes the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and improves hydration. It also helps the skin look visibly rejuvenated and youthful. How? Great question. So what the RE9 line contains are some of my favorite ingredients, specifically vitamin B3. So there's the vitamin B complex, because there's vitamin B12 and there's B6 and there's B9. B3 has an affinity for the skin and skin health. It also, the RE9 line, the anti-aging skincare, has olive. Olive, when I was in medical school and we were going through our herbology and botany class, when there's certain plants that when I hear them, I think of different organs and like different things that they target in the body. And when I hear olive or olive tree or olive leaf, I think of life. What they do, it's like the tree of life. It adds life to whatever it touches. Olive is in the RE9. Beech tree is also in the RE9, which is anti-aging. There is pineapple and papaya extract. So not only are they exfoliating and anti-inflammatory, they also have enzymatic reactions. I prescribe papaya and pineapple internally because of their enzymatic reactions. They help the body in so many ways about breaking down and absorbing things, okay? Algae is also in the RE9, and we're gonna chat about this in a second. It also contains sea buckthorn, which is super high in vitamin C, and vitamin C is one of my favorite antioxidants. So whenever you see vitamin C, think of Susie Q holding Jimmy John's hand, right? It is a potent antioxidant. It promotes skin hydration, elasticity, and skin regeneration, and even helps treat and prevent acne. Sea buckthorn also has been shown to help rosacea, which is a chronic inflammatory condition as well. And it is, again, in our RE9. The other thing that is in our RE9, that sounds super fancy, but I'm going to tell you what it is peptides. So human skin is comprised of mostly collagen. Now, collagen is a protein comprised of long segments of amino acids arranged like chains called peptides. And if you think of collagen like scaffolding of a building, and studies done on the NIH showed that when peptides are applied to the skin topically, it actually sends a message to your skin that it has lost collagen and actually needs to rebuild more. So think about the scaffolding of your face is like breaking down, and you add these peptides to the outside, it's like rebuilding everything. So when skincare peptides are applied topically, your skin thinks that the collagen is broken down and starts rebuilding it, right? It sounds really lovely, and it is, which is why it's in our skincare. And then the RE9 also has stem cell technology, and how this is, and I'm going to go over what that is, but how this works together, like everything in the RE9 set, because it's comprised of multiple products, works together synergistically. It's not just like, not all of the products are created the same. Like there's different levels and different ingredients in each one of them. And how it works together is it works together synergistically to give your body what it needs. And really, actually, to be perfectly honest, with what it's missing, most likely, based on being a human and exposed to life. So with all of that external and internal oxidative stress and antioxidant and free radical damage, what the RE9 line has done is, with its list of ingredients, really kind of hit all the levels of like how to rebuild you. Just like I was saying, take care of your skin like you would your heart, your liver, and your lungs. So let's talk about this orange stem cell stuff. So I posted a while ago on Facebook that if you guys had questions about the new RE9 and what you wanted to know, and this whole orange stem cell research was, you guys really wanted clarification on it. So if you're not familiar with PubMed, it is a database of scientific research papers. And what I did is I went on PubMed and I just typed in orange stem cell skincare or something. And what came up was this really very thick yakety schmackety about how the immune system works, but how stem cells will help with oxidative stress. They will help with, they have anti-inflammatory effects, and they help with cell signaling and regeneration of your skin. So that is what the stem cell is doing. Now, what are stem cells? Great question. So everyone has stem cells in their body. Stem cells give rise to other cells. Think of them as like master cells or parent cells. They're cells that become specialized cells for different parts of your body. Like I imagine, so if you think about this, when we are a sperm and an egg and we come together, we're just a bunch of cells like that just keep multiplying, right? And then eventually end up into a human. It freaking fascinates me, by the way. I think it's so freaking cool. So how does, because under a microscope, a liver cell looks different than a brain cell, looks different than a skin cell, looks different than a heart cell. Like all of the cells look different. So how is it that when a sperm and an egg came together, all of those cells got to differentiate? Well, it's called stem cells. and the other sort of image that I have of stem cells, like these little tiny baby cells, and they look up at their mom, liver cell, and they're like, Mom, what am I going to be when I grow up? And she's like, honey, you're going to be a liver cell. And they're like, yay. But they have livers, like I'm saying, they are blank pieces of paper that you can write any cell that you want to create from them based on cell signaling and what message the body is giving to that cell, okay? So stem cells have the ability to self-renew. They are also undifferentiated, which is what I was just said. So they have no specific function, but they can turn into specialized cells later on when they are needed. So why this matters, in short, stem cells are used in medicine today to regenerate damaged tissue, whether it's the liver or the spine or the eyes or the skin, okay? Now, they provide antioxidant protection. They protect the skin. These are specifically stem cells that help the skin. They protect it from photo damage. They protect it from other types of oxidative stress that we talked about. They are anti-inflammatory, which is really important because we are exposed to a lot of inflammation based on what we're putting in our mouth, what we're breathing, what we're thinking, and what we're putting on our skin. Now, they provide stimulation to the epidermal cells, and they increase the longevity of our cells. Again, in other words, on another note, they help minimize fine lines and wrinkles. They increase elasticity and firmness, and they help with collagen support. Okay, the other things that are in our RE9 is brown algae extract. Now, I just said earlier that I would talk about brown algae, now used internally. No, I'll start with externally. So used externally, it helps with the oxidative stress, and when absorbed, it can help chelate heavy metals, and it's a super potent antioxidant, right? I prescribe, as a physician, I prescribe algae for just that. When I use it internally in my patients. I will prescribe it for heavy metal chelation, for antioxidants, for oxidative stress. And so if we're putting that internally, you better believe that our body's going to absorb it externally. So that's also in the RE9 line. The sea buckthorn also is well known. I talked about that earlier, but it's well known today for its healing and rejuvenating effects on the skin. It is a super awesome way to help with burns and cuts and wounds and sunburns and rashes and other types of skin damage, which is why it's in our RE9, okay? It also slows the effects of aging. So the RE9 line also supports the liver. Now, why this matters more than you think. Okay, what's the job of the liver? I just said it. It's like, do I keep you or do I not? And I never thought about this until medical school. Everything we put on our skin, toxic or not, the liver has to deal with it, process it, filter it, conjugate it, and let go of it. Everything that we're putting on our skin. And if we're using products that contain toxin, guess who's left to deal with it? You got it. The good old liver. So choose products wisely, aka RE9. And again, so we detoxify through the skin. And as many of you know, and I just said it, the skin is the largest organ, and it is covered in pores to aid in the body's detoxification process through sweat. And if those pores are clogged with dirt, products or lotion or mineral oils or etc., then and environmental pollutants, then your skin is unable to detoxify properly. Okay? Again, move your body. That's one of the number one ways to help your skin. So exfoliation is key, which is why there's papaya and pineapple in the RE9. The other thing I think that gets overlooked from the skin and forgotten is that right underneath your skin is the lymphatic system and the circulatory system. And I want to do a whole talk on the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is truly extraordinary because the lymph is a network of tissues and organs to help the body get rid of toxins, waste, and other wanted materials. I think of it kind of like the vacuum cleaner of the body, right? And the body has to deal with everything that you are putting on your skin, and if you're putting super awesome helpful things on, then your skin will thank you, right? You can actually support your liver through what you're putting on your skin rather than harming it. The other thing the lymphatic system does is also carries our immune cells and plays a key player in our immune system, which most of us struggle with immune health. Okay, so that's the RE9 line. You guys, yes? Bueno? Ask questions also if you guys have any. So I'm going to dive into the nutrition line and how the 30 days to healthy living on top of the RE9. So the RE9 is like helping you from the outside in, and the 30 days to healthy living is helping you from the inside out. And they are going to meet right in the middle for a lovely marriage called health. Okay. So give yourself the 30 days. The 30 Days to Healthy Living program focuses on 6 key areas. Eating whole foods and focusing on that, which I just talked about earlier. Increasing nutrient absorption, which we'll talk about. Eliminating allergenic or addictive foods, specifically gluten, dairy, soy, sugar, alcohol, and caffeine for at least 30 days. Balancing the blood sugar and supporting your adrenal glands. And then supporting the organs of elimination and the natural detoxification, which is the drains of the body. And then number 6, which is my favorite, listening to your body. You know, people are like, oh, I don't have an issue with gluten. I'm like, well, how long did you avoid it? They're like, 3 days. I'm like, maybe you should try a bit longer to really get a sense of how food is affecting you. Okay, so it's really supporting your body from the inside out. The 30 days is letting you press pause. Okay, why this is so awesome, because in 30 days, you clear the smoke out of the room so you can see the spot fires. 3 days, a week might not be long enough for the smoke to get totally clear so that you can see the spot fire called dairy. You can see the spot fire called gluten. You can see the spot fire called sugar, right? And then what happens, miraculously on the 31st day, you go, oh my gosh, I had this thing called choice. Because I'm not telling you can't eat gluten, dairy, soy, sugar, alcohol, or caffeine, because they all fit in your mouth and they all come out the other end eventually. So is it adding health to your life? Is it building you in a way that you feel awesome in your life so that you can then go out and be awesome? Okay, that's the question. That's what the 30 Days to Healthy Living is helping you figure out and create. It is the kit, it's the bridge from going from the standard American diet, which is mostly added fat and added fat and added sugar, which is AKA processed food. So the standard American diet, abbreviated the SAD diet, which I think is pretty appropriate. It's the kit or the bridge going from that way of eating to eating consciously and creating lifestyle shifts and eating with awareness, right? And then also, before Arbonne came into my life, I was seeing these chronic deficiencies in my patients, the B complex, vitamin D, probiotics, and omega-3. Those pretty much across the board I was seeing as a chronic deficiency. Well, Arbonne's got your back because the B's are in the fizzes, the D is in the calcium plus, the probiotics are in the digestion plus, and the omega-3s are found in the omega-3 plus, okay? So let's start with the protein powder. It's made up of pea, rice, and cranberry, and the biggest thing here is that it is gluten-free and dairy-free and soy-free. That is enormous, and that is one of the reasons why God put Arbonne into my life, because I was searching for a protein powder that had those 3 things missing from it so that people could get clear about how these foods were affecting them. And then the other cool part about our protein powder is that it has coenzyme Q10, which is a potent antioxidant. Remember the Suzy Qs? Alfalfa, which is heavy metal chelation and antioxidants, kelp, and ginseng, which are both antioxidants. So the new bars that they just came out with, the difference from the new protein bars that they have now versus the old ones is that they don't have brown rice syrup. They have tapioca syrup instead, which is lower carbs and spikes the blood sugar a bit less. And then tapioca syrup also has little to no pesticide use, plus no GMOs. So we're winning on all of those ends. The other thing is there's no vitamin or mineral blend in the new bars because it's coming more from whole food sources like seeds and nuts and fruit. You can see if you read the ingredients of our bars, there's lots of whole foods in there that you'll recognize. There's no inulin, which I actually just did a Facebook Live, a little 3-minute ditty on inulin and why that can potentially be an issue for people. And so that's the new protein bars. Guys, I want you to think about this. Those of you who are taking notes, and I know I'm talking incredibly fast because we have a ton to go through, but I want you to draw a picture. I want you to draw a picture of a carrot, and then coming off of that carrot is vitamin A, and coming off of that carrot is carotenoids, and coming out of that carrot are antioxidants. Guys, when you eat food, you're giving your body information. Now, the question is, what information are you choosing to give it? And I don't want you to go out and get crazy on me around this. I just want you to think about the information. Like when you see a carrot, that carrot is broken down into certain ways in your body and is absorbed in certain ways, right? So vitamin A we all know that carrots are high in vitamin A, right? So you eat that carrot and vitamin A is absorbed and the body's like, oh, vitamin A, where have you been? Oh my gosh, okay, we need you to go to the eyes. The eyes are struggling today and need you. And vitamin A is like, woohoo, I'm off to the eyes. And then in that carrot are carotenoids, and the carotenoids are in there, and they're like, give us a job, give us a job. And the body's like, go to the heart. The heart today was struggling a little bit, like, you go there. And the carotenoids are like, woohoo, we're gonna go there. And then there's also, carrots are high in antioxidants. So when the antioxidants are like digested and hanging out, and they're like, give us a job, give us a job. And they're like, Susie Q just ate a donut, and there's all this like oxidative stress from all the sugar from the donut, and go handle that. And the antioxidants are like, woohoo! Okay? So that's a carrot, or a potato, or a chicken that you're eating, or whatever, right? Everything is information that you're giving your body. Now, draw a Twinkie. Because I'm going to pick on Twinkies, because I can. So draw a Twinkie, and then out of the Twinkie, draw sugar. And then out of the Twinkie, draw high fructose corn syrup. And then out of the Twinkie, draw gluten, okay? Like arrows. This is the visual that I have in my head. I was actually trying to find something like this online, and I couldn't. I literally didn't sleep at night sometimes. I get so excited about this stuff. So out of the Twinkie, there's sugar, which creates oxidative stress and adrenal stress and liver stress, 100%. Like, the liver is actually the number one organ that sugar stresses out. So you eat a Twinkie, sugar comes out and is like, ha ha, you liver, I'm going to torture you today. And the liver's like, not again. And then high fructose corn syrup comes out and is like, I'm going to spike the blood sugar. And the adrenals are like, please don't. And then gluten is in a Twinkie, and gluten comes in and is like, ha ha ha, I'm going to rip your GI to shreds and not tell anybody about it for a really long time. Are you guys getting it? So everything that you're putting in your mouth is information. Okay, now jumping back into the 30 Days to Healthy Living. So they have a fiber boost, which is super awesome. So why do we need fiber? In short, we need fiber for lots of things. Feeding the gut bacteria, helping our stools move, helping our immune system. All of these reasons we need fiber. And it acts like a sponge for toxicity, okay? It helps the body pull toxins out. Ideally, humans would be getting 30 to 35 grams a day. We are lucky if we even get 15. Lucky if we get 15. So we need to be taking a fiber supplement most likely. Arbonne's fiber has, the source is pea, citrus, apple, orange, and beet, which is super awesome. Then also in the 30-day plan, there are the fizz sticks, which are the flavored powder that you can add to water, and they contain 50 milligrams of caffeine. Now, why this is different is botanically based, so it's more alkaline. It is not acidic like coffee. And the amino acids in there are helping the nervous system. It also has B vitamins to help with energy and with stress levels. Not stress levels, but it's helping our body deal with the stress that we're under or not under. And then it also has chromium for balancing the blood sugar and helping the adrenal glands. Then there's the detox tea. Now, many of you have heard me say this, if you're going to put me into a room and the R&D team of Arbonne and you say, hey, you guys, go make a detox tea, we would have come up with the exact same formulation. It has milk thistle, which has an affinity for the liver and protecting it from toxins and inflammation, and sugar, remember? It also helps in lowering cholesterol. And we went over what, it's also, the detox tea is really high in antioxidants. So we went over what that is. And that can cause free radical damage. The other thing that's in the detox tea is peppermint, which helps in digestion. Again, when I think of these herbs, when I hear milk thistle, I think liver. When I hear peppermint, I think digestion. It helps with excess gas. It is anti-spasmodic. Excuse me, and it also tastes super awesome. Dandelion. When I hear dandelion, I think of the urinary tract system, okay? It's really good for the kidneys. And then fennel is also in our detox tea. Again, when I hear fennel, I think anti-gas, anti-spasmodic, and really good for indigestion. Elder is in there. It's also anti-spasmodic and really anti-inflammatory and helps boost the immune system. Parsley, super high in vitamin C, which is a what? Antioxidant. Good job, aka Susie Q. It aids in digestion and also has an affinity for the kidneys. Walnut is also in the Digestion Plus. It can relieve fatigue and help actually rebuild our intestinal wall. And then licorice is in our detox tea, helps with, it has an affinity for the GI and the liver. And also it's really healthy and helpful for the adrenal glands, which are the two glands that sit on our kidneys that are responsible for a lot of things, 3 of which is our stress response, our blood sugar handling, our sleep-wake cycles. So Uva ursi also loves the urinary tract. So that is our detox tea, like all fell swooped. It's kidney, it's stomach, and it's liver support. The greens, why the greens? So humans should be consuming around 9 cups of vegetables a day. Studies have shown that that amount actually prevents an array of cancers, especially colon cancer. But are we getting that? Most likely not. 9 cups of vegetables is kind of a lot. So then Arbonne created the greens, and they are 1 serving of fruit and veggies per serving, per scoop. They're packed with phytonutrients. They're also alkaline forming, which is really helpful, which helps our pH balance. And then they come from the 4 colored food groups, the reds, the greens, the yellows, and the blues, okay? And the key here is they're lightly heated to enhance nutrient availability. So I want to point this out real quick, is that we are the only species that cooks. Now, why is that? Because what cooking does is it pre-breaks down food such that our body has to work less to get more. So Arbonne knew this. There was a study done on kale that if you slightly heated kale, you actually got more nutrients out of it. So our greens are slightly heated such that your digestive system can absorb them very much. So thank you, Arbonne, for knowing that this helps to make our products highly absorbable, because we're not what we eat, we are what we absorb. Then there's the 7-day cleanse, which again has milk thistle, which we went over, and it has a combination of herbs to aid in digestive support, liver detox, elimination, and antioxidants. Again, if I was going to sign up to create a detox, a 7-day cleanse, I would have created this. How I use it, I usually do it, I suggest using it on day 14 of the cleanse, adding it to 32 ounces of water. I also suggest that people take it with them traveling, because traveling usually blocks people up. And then the Digestion Plus is the prebiotic, probiotic, and enzymes. And I did a Facebook Live on that too last week, that I can share on this page as well, to go over the importance of our Digestion Plus, why we need probiotics. Why do we need probiotics? They're the beneficial bacteria that line the inside of our GI tract. There's actually more of them than there are cells in our body. So there's more of them than there are us. And what they do is they are very beneficial. We have to have them for a number of reasons, but some of which they're a key component in our immune system. They help us absorb and break down food, and they actually produce vitamins for us. So why our Digestion Plus is awesome is it contains FOS, or fructooligosaccharides, which is actually food for our bacteria. So they can eat. I mean, they're alive, so they need to eat, right? They also, our Digestion Plus contains ACEs. So anything in the ingredients that says ACE, it's a enzyme to help us break down foods. Now remember, there's papaya and pineapple in our RE9 to help the enzymatic reactions on our face, while the Digestion Plus has got us set for the GI. So we have all the ACEs all over our body, inside and out, right? Peppermint is also in there. And again, when you hear peppermint, think of the GI. And then chamomile, which is a soother for the GI as well as the nervous system. And then the bacteria that's in there is Bacillus coagulans, and aka the probiotic. Now, Bacillus coagulans represents a breakthrough in probiotic supplementation. It is dormant in the bottle and then begins growing in our intestines, which is super awesome. Because of this, it resists being killed by the stomach acid, in contrast to many of the others that may lose some of their potency and not survive the trip through all digestion. So that's Bacillus coagulans. So that is the 30 days to healthy living. Now, to think about all of this, we're going to go back about a few minutes, and I'm so sorry I've taken so long. These 2 lines, the RE9 and the 30 days to healthy living, are setting your body up to win for whole body health, helping the body detoxify and support the organs of elimination, helping the body deal with oxidative stress and damage, helping the body absorb nutrients, which I promise you most of you are missing, and bringing in balance and freedom and adding health from the inside out and the outside in. Guys, bottom line, Arbonne's got your back. They've done the work. They've done the research, they've given us the products, and now you get to go share them and go transform lives, because isn't that the point, right? At least for me, and I know that I have seen and met a ton of you, the yous, all of the Arbonne yous. We're all in this for one reason. It's to better our lives and everyone that we touch. So if you guys want to hear more, I have several classes that I offer. And in June, I have 3 dates picked where I'm doing a intensive. It's a 4-hour, 1-day workshop where you thought tonight was going to be drinking out of a fire hose. Imagine 4 hours of me. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, no, I'm not. So if you guys want more information on that, I will post the link to my website And I love this game. I love this company. I love what we get to do together. I love that on a Thursday night, I am like counting down the seconds till I can hop on a Facebook Live to see all of your beautiful faces. So I will post information on if you guys want more, downloads of health. And then I'm going to hand this over to Melanie and have her share about how you can get your hands on these products and these packages at a 40% discount and really begin or continue, depending on where you're at, to add health to your life, to build you, and to live life awesome. Good night. I love you all. Mwah!